All right, let's move on to the easiest of the group, which are the type 3 compounds. Type 3 compounds involve two nonmetals, which could be really confusing because there's lots of different combining capacities, and you're like, who's the cation? Who's the anion? But they just tell you. So all of these have a covalent bond, meaning they share electrons. And to name them, you actually don't have to worry about their charge. You just have to worry about how many atoms there are. So when you name them, what happens is the first element or atom always gets its atom name and maybe a prefix. So what you're going to do is say how many there are. If there's one, you don't do anything. But if there's two, you would say di. If there's three, you'd go tri, and so on. If you're not comfortable with your prefixes, they're listed at the bottom of this page. So if there's one, it's mono, but we don't do that for the first element. If there's two, it's di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nona, deca. Okay? And then if you are the second element or the anion, then you're use the prefix all the time, so even the mono, and then your ending also changes to "ide." So for example, if you look at SO3, it's sulfur because there's one of them and we don't put the mono, and then trioxide. This would be dinitrogen trioxide. This would be dicarbon monoxide. So if you have one of the second element, you have to put the mon or the mono. Okay, let's try some. So type 3, my personal favorite. Okay, if we're going to write the chemical compound, we don't have to even go to the information booklet. We just go carbon, okay, there's one. Disulfide, okay, there's two. Diphosphorus, there's two. Pentoxide, there's five. Sulfur, there's one. Trioxide, there's three. So then to go from the compound to the name, we would say the first element is nitrogen, and there's one of them. So we just put nitrogen. And then there's three fluorines, so we'd say tri, and then we'd say fluoride. So remember, always changing that ending to ide. For this one, you have one nitrogen, so we're just going to write nitrogen again. But then because the oxygen, there's only one, you're going to put monoxide. Now this one, I hope you're all shouting on the screen, but Karen, it's water. Yeah, it's water, right? Of course it's water. But if we were going to give its proper name, we would say that it's dihydrogen monoxide. And I dare you to say that 10 times fast and say it to a person who's never taken chemistry. They'd just be like, what? So we call it water, right? So oftentimes we'll give something a simplified name. All right, go and give those ones a go. And I really do recommend trying this section. I mean, I recommend trying all sections, but in this section, I also put some scrambled up practice. So here, one second. So there's like this scrambled up practice. So it says, indicate whether the following compounds are type 1, 2, or 3 and give the correct formula. And then indicate whether the following compounds are type 1, 2, or 3 and give the correct name. So what you're looking for, in the names, it's pretty obvious. If you have prefixes, then you know you're dealing with a type 2. If you have a Roman numeral, type 3. If you have a Roman numeral, you know you're dealing with a type 2. And then if there's none of that, you know that you're dealing with a type 1. And so then just go and practice the rules. When you're going from the formula, it's a little bit harder. When it's a type 3, you should recognize that it's two nonmetals together. So for example, I can see that oxygen and fluorine, right? That would be dioxide, difluoride. But all the other ones, sometimes I don't always recognize it's a nonmetal. So just go to your information booklet. If it's occurring to the right of the step, if they both occur to the right of the step, you know it's a type 3. And then if one of them's a metal, you're just looking to see if it has one combining capacity or two. So for example, if I was looking up strontium, I would go to my formula sheet. I'd be like, okay, strontium is to the left, so I know this is going to be type 1 or type 2. And because there's only one combining capacity, I know it's a type 1. So at bare minimum, I would be making sure I practice questions 15 and 16 if I'm feeling confident in this. If I'm not, then I would be starting with designated practice where they tell you what it is, and then move to the mixed up practice.